I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the UP fair, man. I breathe.
Hey everybody, this is James Dedecker with Michigan State University Extension. Today we're out in the field checking out our NRCS Conservation Innovation Grant Project looking at cover crop interseeding in corn. So today I'm sitting here under the canopy in Stephenson, Michigan on the Havelka dairy farm. And this is a field that we interseeded cover crops, and right now we're looking at crimson clover. So this corn, silage corn, was planted on May 13th this spring. And then we came back on June 18th and interseeded cover crops. We built a special tool with an APV interseeder, air seeder, excuse me, and put that on a toolbar with some S-tines and drag chains. That allowed us to come into the corn about V4, or when it was about this high, and interseed the cover crops. So we actually put 3 different cover crop treatments out here. We did some triticale, some annual ryegrass, and then also this crimson clover. And what we found at this point in the year as the corn is starting to tassel and pollinate is that really the crimson clover seems to have done best this year. And we're probably in one of the better spots for the crimson clover, where we've got a good stand of clover, not too many weeds, and it looks like the clover is going to probably be able to persist and still be there in the fall after we take off the silage. In other spots in the field, we've had more challenges, and mostly related to weeds. This field has a decent seed bank of grass weeds. Looks like maybe some quackgrass or crabgrass, and also a little bit of foxtail. And in those areas where we had a lot of weed pressure, the weeds seem to have taken over the cover crop, particularly in the grasses, in the triticale and in the annual rye. Crimson clover seems to have fared a little bit better than the 2 grass species, so we'll see how it does going forward. The way we have our interseeder set up right now, it's cultivating with S-tines in front of the seeder. The air seeder is blowing the seed down on that loosened soil, and then we've got drag chains coming behind and covering it up. And we thought that would be a great adaptation on an air seeder to get that seed actually into the soil and get seed-soil contact and not worry about moisture on top being a problem for establishment. But it actually seems like that may have been a negative in this case for 2 reasons. Perhaps some of that small seed, particularly on the annual rye, maybe even the triticale, got covered up a little bit too deep, and we didn't get the kind of establishment that we wanted because of that. Also, those S-tines are disturbing the soil right before we're seeding, which means that any weeds or weed seeds that are in that soil or rhizomes from grasses are going to be ready to grow as soon as we are done with that operation. And in the areas where we ran the air seeder, the second flush of weeds seems to be worse, and we do have a lot of weeds competing with the cover crop. So that could be a challenge. In the past, we've used the air seeder without any incorporation. And you don't have the weed problem, there's not disturbance there, but you oftentimes have a failed cover crop because of a lack of soil moisture in that very top layer. Or sometimes the cover crop will even germinate and then terminate after it dries out if you just get a little bit of rain.
That's What's Up at Uprec from Twin Island Farms in Menominee County, Michigan. Owned and operated by Scott and Kristen Havelka and family. Special thanks to MSU Extension educators James Dedecker and Monica Jean for the video and camera work. I'm in the Fayette, Fairport, Faith, Horn, Iron Mountain, Flat Rock, Freda, Ishpeming, Tri Mountain, Kearney, Pelkey, Champion, Meriwether,